In this video, I'm going to give you an update on the multifamily real estate market for Canarsie for May 2022. So if you're interested in learning more, stay tuned. Now we're going to be using 5 key metrics to help us develop an understanding of what's taking shape in the multifamily Canarsie real estate market. The very first metric we'll be discussing is the number of active listings, otherwise known as the number of homeowners who are actively engaged in the process of selling their home in Canarsie. Now, in May of 2021, there were 57 homeowners who were actively engaged in the process of selling their home. In 2022, this number declined 23%, so there were only 44 homeowners who were actively engaged in the process of selling their homes in Canarsie. Although this is higher than what we saw in April of this year, we do continue to see the decline year over year, month over month, in the number of homeowners who are interested in selling their homes. The next metric we'll be discussing is the close price to list price ratio. Now, as a homeowner, you're particularly interested in this metric because this helps you to understand how much value you're able to get out of the list price that you set for your home. Now, to best understand this metric, I'll give you an example. So let's say you put your property on the market for $800,000 and you actually sell it for $800,000. Your close price to list price ratio would in effect be 100% because you were able to sell the property for the exact amount that you listed the property for. So last year, in the month of May, the close price to list price ratio in Canarsie was 95.5%. This year, in the month of May, we did see an increase of 4 percentage points. So the close price to list price ratio in Canarsie was actually 99.6%. Now, this is a great thing if you're a homeowner because it means you're able to command that much more value out of the list price that you set for your home. If you're a home buyer, unfortunately, it's not that great of a thing because it means you end up paying more for properties that you're interested in purchasing. The next metric we'll be discussing is the median sales price. So last year we saw that the median sales price of a multifamily home in Canarsie was around $880,000. This year, we did see a decline of $10,000 for the month of May, and so the median sales price of a multifamily home in Canarsie was only $870,000. Now, this is interesting because although we saw the increase in the close price to list price ratio went up 4 percentage points, the decline in the median sales price means that effectively as a homeowner, if you had sold your property in May of this year, yes, it's true that you're getting a higher percentage of the price that you listed your property for, but it's also true that you're selling it for a lower number. Next metric we'll be discussing is the number of homes that sold, the number of multifamily homes that sold in the month of May in Canarsie. So last year we saw that 3 multifamily homes sold in Canarsie. This year we did see an additional home sold, and there were 4 multifamily properties which sold in the month of May in Canarsie. Since we know the number of homes that sold and we have the number of homes that were on the market, we can use these 2 values to calculate the real estate absorption rate. Now, if you're not familiar with the real estate absorption rate, it does help us determine whether or not a local real estate market is either in the middle of a buyer's market or a seller's market. So in Canarsie, if we take 4 divided by 44, we see that because this number is less than 20%, Canarsie was effectively in the middle of a buyer's market for the month of May. Now, the final metric we'll be discussing is the median number of days on the market, or DOM for short. So last year in the month of May, Canarsie had a median number of days on the market of 44, which means it took about a month and a half for a property to get from listing to contract signing. This year, we saw a decline, and the median number of days on the market was actually 39 days, so just over a month. Now, this decline to 39 days is actually vastly lower than what we saw in the previous month of April, where we saw it took about 116 days for a property to get from listing to contract signing. So we're now in the month of May, where it takes about a month and a half or so, compared to April, where it took over 4 months for a property to get from listing to contract signing. So that's definitely an improvement from the uptick that we saw last month. So overall, when we compare these numbers to how we were performing last year, we're seeing that homeowners are getting a higher percentage of their list price. They're selling at a faster rate, but they're selling at a lower price relative to the year prior. Now, one of the things to remember is that all of this activity is taking place in the backdrop of rising interest rates, right? Because we know that around this time last year, 30-year mortgage rates hovered around 3%, no more than 3%. That you could have got a sub 3% rate, in fact. Whereas this year, we know that rates increased at least 2 percentage points and are around 5% or even slightly above 5%. Okay, and we know that when rates rise, the average mortgage payment is definitely also going to increase, so it becomes a little bit more expensive for you to pay for your home. Now that said, despite this, prices and home values have not seen a large drop in Canarsie, which means that so far, we're seeing that the demand that does exist for these homes in Canarsie continues to outpace the potential dip that we might experience in home values. So usually what I like to do at this point in the video is give you an example of a property which sold for around the median sales price, as well as a property which sold for the highest sales price in Canarsie. Unfortunately, we don't have an example of a home which sold for about the median sales price, so what I'll do is show you a home that sold for slightly above the median sales price just this past May. So this all brick multifamily home comes with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. It's a 3-bedroom duplex over a 2-bedroom rental unit, and it also has a completely finished basement. It comes with parking as well as a garage, but of all of these amenities, the highlight of this home, however, is really its newly renovated chef's kitchen, which comes equipped with stainless steel appliances, as well as a washer-dryer setup for laundry that you can do right in your kitchen. Now, the highest selling home in Canarsie in the month of May had a very similar layout to the home that we just saw. Higher selling home did sell for $975,000, and it also had 5 bedrooms, but only had 3 bathrooms. It's also a 3-bedroom duplex over a 2-bedroom rental unit. Comes with its own driveway. It has 2 modern kitchens, an eat-in dining area, as well as a finished basement, which can be used to earn additional rental income. All right, guys, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.